This is sobering right here. The foreclosure crisis in Florida is worse than ever before, sorry to say. The amount of properties going into foreclosure in the state of Florida is actually increasing, and it doesn't seem to be getting better anytime soon. Chae duPont from the law firm of Morris duPont is here now to explain why this is still happening. Okay, so why is it still happening?
Well, it's still happening basically for two reasons. One is that the economy hasn't improved enough for us to have enough employment for people who had suffered a job loss to get back into the market. And without that second income for a lot of households, they can't afford the mortgage payment. They got the mortgage when they were both working. One party has lost their job. They are not reemployed, or they're not reemployed at the salary that they were making previously, so they can't afford their mortgage payment. They're not able to refinance because the property is underwater. Or secondly, they've made an analysis of their property and they are underwater, they have negative equity, and they realize that it's no longer a good investment to stay there. They're paying more for their mortgage payment than they would if they were renting their property or the property across the street. So they're not building equity in this property.
Sure.
They're renting for higher than their neighbor is renting for, so they're letting it go in foreclosure.
And let's not forget, too, that the state of Florida was one of the hardest hit areas in the country when the Great Recession hit in 2008. And let's take a look at the map now, and you can see the darker areas are the counties which are still seeing a lot of foreclosures. So we're seeing Pasco County here, Hillsborough, southeastern Florida, Dade, Broward. I mean, there's just a lot of bad news everywhere you look.
Well, Tampa Bay especially has been very hard hit, and its recovery is slower. So the state of Florida has been competing with the state of Nevada for the last 2 years for the #1 spot for highest foreclosures. But we've really been holding the #1 spot for several months now, and it doesn't look like it's getting much better.
All right, well, let's look at the process of a foreclosure. We have a little bit of a graphic here to kind of explain, if you would.
Yes. So what does it mean to say that your property is in foreclosure? Well, it means that you've defaulted on a payment, you've missed payments, typically 3 to 4 payments, and your lender is going to send you a notice of acceleration, a notice of default, letting you know, look, we're not going to accept single payments anymore. You either pay the full amount past due, which is normally 3 months or more, or we're going to file a lawsuit against you. And the lawsuit on a property is basically called a lis pendens. That's notifying anyone with a financial interest in the property that this property is now in litigation. There's litigation associated with the property, and you would be named as the defendant. Anyone else with a financial interest in the property, the homeowners association, any lien holders, second mortgage, a HELOC, would get notice and be named as a defendant. Then, of course, you've got the litigation. Typical litigation takes 18 months. That's how long, if you are properly defending a foreclosure action, you should expect to be able to stay in the property.
And that's when they call you.
Well, they should call me if they're even considering missing a payment. But anywhere along that line, even before a foreclosure action is filed against you, you want to consult a foreclosure defense attorney, a loss mitigation attorney, because there might be options for you. And one of those—
Is a loan modification?
It's absolutely a great alternative, is a loan modification. If you want to stay in the property, then a loan modification even after a foreclosure action has been filed, because a lot of people don't realize even once a foreclosure action has been filed, you've still got a chance.
All right, Chae duPont, thank you so much. And again, contact the law firm of Morris duPont if you would like a free consultation to discuss anything you're hearing today. And you can call this number, 800-974-2712, or visit her website, homemortgagelaw.com. Also, listen for Chae on News Radio 970 AM, WFLA, and 105.9 FM here in the Tampa Bay area. Chae duPont, great advice always. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time. Okay?
You bet.
All right, be right back with more Daytime right after this.